Hello, and thank you once again for watching Stand Up Humboldt. We all know right now we're living in dark times. I'm here to do my show so I can allow wonderful guests to come and speak whatever they want to talk about topics on society, family, or even people that are entrepreneurs. Um, I do have a wonderful guest today. She's pretty cool. She's wonderful. Her name is DeeCee. Hey, DeeCee, thank you for coming.
Well, thank you, Freddy.
How are you doing?
I'm fantastic.
Awesome. So,
Yeah.
give us a little bit about who DeeCee is.
DeeCee. I'm born and raised in Los Angeles, and I lived there for many years. And then I came up here to Humboldt about 4 years ago and to help my elderly mother. And I changed my whole life, and now I'm a Humboldt girl. And it's been interesting adjusting to it up here, but I like it. It's laid back and cool. I feel like I'm still in 1970. So up here, it's like I don't even know how to describe it. It's different than living in a big city, so it's laid back. Pretty awesome.
Completely chill from LA.
Yes, that's for sure.
Definitely. No buses.
There's buses here.
No, but like loud buses, sirens.
There's all kinds of sirens here.
But you don't hear them not as much as you do in LA.
Not like living in LA or New York City, no.
Is that a good or bad thing that you're living there now?
Well, I kind of feel trapped up here. Since I got here, every time I try to leave and move back to LA or move somewhere else, something happens that keeps me stuck here. For instance, I came down with cancer a year and a half ago. And I was about to move back to LA right before I got cancer. And all of a sudden, I'm stuck in Humboldt with cancer. And I battled it for a year, and I won the battle. I'm now in full remission. And it's a year later. And through that experience with cancer, I landed a bunch of new clients. All of a sudden, I'm working with all these doctors and nurses and patients that I met through this battle with cancer. So now I'm stuck up here working with all these people. I'm not leaving now that I got a bunch of work, no way. So I run a dog training company and pet sitting called DeeCee's Dog House.
Well, can we let's wind back to cancer. So that we could talk a little bit about it. So when you said you had cancer, you beat it. Most people that get cancer, you're going to be inspirational to them because you don't feel like, it dragged you down. I mean, you seemed like you were uplifted.
It drags you down, but if you realize it feels good to heal from a cold, it feels good to heal from a broken bone. When you feel the feeling of healing from cancer, it's the most phenomenal thing you'll ever experience in your life. They put the chemotherapy shots in your arms, and you can feel the cancer cells shrinking and disintegrating inside you. It's the most orgasmic feeling I've ever had. I am so high on life from the experience of healing from cancer. I was terrified when they told me I had cancer. By the time they started treating me, it was like, wow, this is amazing. I mean, my bones were growing. My spine would grow an inch every time they'd give me the bone shot every week because I had bone cancer. And my bones were disintegrating, and I was shrinking. I shrunk like 6 inches even.
Wow.
And the shots and the medicine they would give me, I would literally sit in my chair and I'd feel my spine growing. And then you feel that cancer disintegrating and leaving your body. Tears of joy would pour down my cheeks at the cancer treatment center. And I would actually manifest the healing while I was getting the medicine. I would speak out loud. I would tell the nurses and doctors, I'm going to be talking to myself while you're giving me this medicine, asking the universe, asking the Lord to heal me out loud, talking while I'm doing this. And in those cancer treatments, there's other people in the same room getting cancer treatment. And they're all crying and sad, bald and unhappy. And I'm up there with this huge smile on my face and tears of joy rolling down my face. And they're like, nurse, can we have whatever medicine you're giving her, please? Like, what are you doing? How is this woman so happy through all this? I guess people are so scared of the medicine and they're so scared of having cancer. They don't even notice that feeling of healing that I was noticing.
I think and you do have a point. I think when people were diagnosed and they hear you have cancer, it's like, okay,
it's the end of the world,
yeah.
And you're terrified.
Yeah.
You don't know what the medicine is going to make you feel like. I would refer to it as the chemo cocktail at chemo happy hour.
You heard her, chemo cocktail.
Chemo happy hour. Don't be afraid of it. It gets a bad rap, chemo. It's actually the best drug I've ever taken in my life.
Wow.
I will never sip a sip of alcohol again. It doesn't do anything compared to that type of medicine.
Wow.
I will never take a hit of marijuana again. I've never been higher off of, not the medicine, but the feeling of this healing is what makes me so high and so happy. So after this healing has happened, I live my life a different way now. I, every day, have the time of my life. From now on, you never know when you'll get a diagnosis or when you'll be dead. Enjoy your life while you're here.
You heard that.
Enjoy every day. You'll never know when someone will say your heart's failing or you have cancer, and then you're stuck in Humboldt for a year and a half in a hospital room. I wasn't laying in the sun and in the Bahamas. It's tough, but I'm not blaming Humboldt. I'm glad Humboldt got me stranded up here. I would have rather been up here to heal through all this than down in a big city.
What did people do when you walked in, when they were sitting next to you in the doctor's office and you're like all giddy and happy?
They would ask me what type of medicine I'm getting. And I'm like, probably the same thing you're getting. But I'm manifesting this healing by talking to myself. And I saw one other person doing it. She didn't learn it from me. I'd never seen this woman before. She was speaking in a different language out loud, repeating the same thing 1,000 times. She probably repeated it in the 2-hour session. I was in the same room with her. And I could tell that she was doing the same thing. She was manifesting the healing. If you speak things out loud for 10 times, 100 times, 1,000 times, it gets even stronger. And you will definitely achieve what you want if you're speaking it out loud. I don't know if you know about manifestation.
A little, I do.
But it's incredible.
It is.
I've been able to change my whole life since I started just trying it. And wait a minute, why don't I try asking for $100? I need $100. 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 Bam! A gold coin worth $100 falls from the sky at my feet. I mean, that's how it can work. I mean, you've seen me come up here with nothing from Los Angeles. I left everything that I had down there, a huge bustling dog training company. I came up here with a backpack and my poodle, and I had nothing. I gave my brand new Mercedes back a year early on the lease and came up here. I gave everything I owned away to charity, and I came up here with nothing. And in the couple of years I've been here, you've watched me go through hell and high water, and still I've achieved everything that a normal person can make happen. I got a job, I got a car, I got a place to live, I battled cancer, I totally rebuilt my dog business from scratch up here, and now it's just booming. I mean, I am booked solid for the rest of the year. I have repeat clients again. I'm like not as successful as Los Angeles yet, but just enough to survive perfectly.
Oh my God, DeeCee, you could probably teach a course on how to make your life better.
Yes. Well, Darla is the president of the company. And people say, who trained
Okay, before we talk about
dog?
Darla, can we talk about your dog training in LA? When you started there, and then how it is for you now in Humboldt?
Well, I started there when I was very young. I was always an entrepreneur when I was a child.
Mm-hmm.
I would pretend to have my own companies. And then by the time I was 10 years old, I realized I better start walking some dogs in the neighborhood because all I ever loved was dogs and cats.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I got the nickname DeeCee.
Dogs and cats.
D for dogs, C for cats.
You heard that.
My real name's Patricia Michelle Galvin. And my older brother's like, I can't even pronounce those words. Let me just nickname her DeeCee. And all I ever loved was dogs and cats. So I started my business very young. And I used to call it DeeCee's Dollhouse. And then I changed it in my 20s. I said, no, I'm going to make it DeeCee's Dog House. And by the time I was 25, I had a full-blown business going, and I was babysitting a bunch of rock stars' dogs, and I would stay in their mansions while they were on tour. For months, they'd be gone. And
What kind of dogs do they have?
Oh, a pack of bulldogs.
Wow.
They all have like more than one, like 5 dogs.
Did you get bit? Did they ever were they mean to you?
No,
Like,
no. I drove them around in Mercedes Benzes and Rolls Royce cars. They would leave me the keys to all their cars. Say, take my dog in this Range Rover to Beverly Hills and walk. I want it walked on Rodeo Drive. Like, what? Okay, if you insist.
Well, they would ask you to walk on take the dog to walk to Rodeo Drive.
These were some spoiled dogs that I was working with.
Right on.
Yes. So when I moved up here, I thought, oh, my dog business is gone. The very day I landed my feet here in Humboldt, a man came up to me with a baby German Shepherd in his hands and said, can you babysit this? He didn't know I was a pet sitter or a dog trainer or any of that. He said, would you happen to be able to take this baby German Shepherd for 1 month? And I'll come back in 1 month and get it from you. And I said, sure. And I showed up at my mom's house. She's like, oh, you aren't turning my house into your dog house. You come in with a baby puppy.
Yeah.
And the first day you're here.
Yeah.
I'm like, you won't even know this puppy's here, Mom. I promise. I promise it'll be okay. I talked her into it. I ended up training every dog in that little town that I was living with my mom when I first got to town.
So how long did it take you to get your clientele here in Humboldt?
Well, the very first day I had my first dog, and then I trained.
You mean the first day you moved here, you got a client?
That's when the baby shepherd showed up.
Go Humboldt! That's nice of you.
Yes, and there's a big need for people you can trust to come into your home while you're out of town. And people want to travel, and they can't leave their pets in a kennel somewhere. I mean, they can, but they would rather have their dog and cats stay home. So to find someone that you could truly trust, that's background checked, and has been doing this for...
They background check you?
I background check myself, and I could prove it to the people that... I just had a client background check me and take a picture of my photo ID and call 5 references of people I've worked for, and they made sure that they had their ducks in a row before they let me have...
They don't want no criminals watching their dogs.
No, and there's a lot of weird people. How are you going to just let someone live in your house while you're gone for a couple weeks? So... But... Truly, back to the cancer thing, I almost feel like I was put in the cancer center to help these patients and the nurses and doctors with their animals. I've landed dozens of clients from the nurses and the doctors and the patients that are stuck in the hospital and need somebody to go and feed their cats and their dogs. And all of a sudden, my business through the cancer has quadrupled. I mean, huge from these clients that...
So you're saying a lot of your clients are doctors and nurses?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I mean, all I talk about is dogs, and I would show up with my service dog even to a lot of the sessions and the procedures. And Darla's going to get a bone marrow biopsy with me in 2 weeks.
So when you get these animals, is it just for the day, or is there like dog sitting?
It's ongoing.
Good.
Some are just for one day, but then they realize, wow, we finally found someone that we could trust with our dog. And they'll, call me and say, I'm going to go to Italy for 2 weeks. Can you come and spend the night here for 2 weeks? Or can you come 3 times a day? Stuff like that. So people finally meet me, and then I tell them, I'm here for you forever. And
so what kind of stuff do you do with the dogs? So like when you train them, do you say, sit, fetch the ball?
No. I don't use a bunch of treats and make your dog sit 20 times. I have a special way of communication that I teach the person how to speak to their dog properly. Yeah. So I have the people, whoever it is, that if there's a family or a married couple, they both have to start talking to their dog the same way. The dog's all mixed up usually when they come to me. The dogs have no clue that the word no means to stop what they're doing, look at you. And, they're screaming all these different words to the dog, and it's confusing the dogs. And I mean, I just trained 2 Boston Terrier puppies the other day, and they're feisty. One of them hasn't just got neutered a week ago, and they've got it out at the dog park. It's still full of testosterone, and it's with another female there's a boy and a girl, Boston Terriers. They're snapping at the other dogs, but they're not fighting. But every time they would even growl a little at a dog that is approaching them, the mother, the human, would pick the dog up and hold it. So the dog is now trained to growl means my mom's going to hold me for an hour. She's not even mad at these dogs. The woman had no clue that the dog has learned if I growl, my mom will pick me up. And I was able to see this happening and tell her, honey, you're picking the dog up. You're rewarding the dog for growling by this love that you're giving. We need to switch the love, and we're going to do it in a different way. So I use sound effects to make the word good dog mean something. I make the person be really happy when the dog actually obeys instead of just saying good dog. No, you have to emit happiness. Your dog wants you to be happy. It thrives on your happiness. A lot of people yell and scream meanly at their dogs. We don't do that in my training. The only mean word we're allowed to say is no. We say it with a growl, and we use some sound effects to make them turn and look at you to see what that sound was. So that's the very first thing I teach.
So what
every
if you
dog
have like a really
no
violent,
Well, you have
dog
to.
that's like,
You've
so
got
how
to
do you
teach
calm that
them.
dog down?
You teach them the word no and how to stop what they're doing and look at you. Look, I just said no, and she stopped and looked at me.
For a violent dog.
No, Darla, good girl. I mean, when I just say the word no, even if I'm not addressing my dog, she'll stop and look at me to see what's going on. So you have to teach a dog to react properly to the word no. And that's the only bad word I use. Everything else is sit and relax, stay, jump up, jump down, bark, quiet. I have a website called DeeCee's Doghouse.us. It's spelled DeeCees, Doghouse, DeeCee's Doghouse. You can look me up online, Google. I'm here in the whole county of Humboldt, not just Eureka, but I travel to Arcata and McKinleyville and down to Garberville and everything in between, Ferndale and Fortuna. I mean, up to Neyland, up into the mountains. I just stayed at a ranch and babysat a dog and a cat and a cow. Yes, moo.
Do you ever think that you would want to train dogs, animals in movies?
Yes, I'd like to do a TV show where we go and rescue a dog, turn it into a service dog, and place it with some of these patients at the hospital that need a service dog. So
I'm curious, why the hospital?
Because I think these people need help.
Right.
They need somebody that loves them, and they need a reason to get up and walk around each day. A lot of them are bedridden, but if they had no choice but to take a dog outside, I learned with bone cancer, with any kind of bone problems or aches and pains, I learned from these specialists and all my nurses that if you lay in the lazy boy all day, it's going to hurt worse. So if you have a dog, you have to get up and let it out the door. I mean, it might not walk it, but you still have to get up a few times a day out of the bed. So it could actually make you feel better if you have no choice but to get up 3 times a day out of your deathbed. And that's how I was able to overcome these broken bones I had and the shrinking of disintegration of all my bones. I would get up and let my dogs out. And even through all the sickness, I forced myself to go and walk other people's dogs. I'm walking a nurse's dog now for a half hour, a few days a week. And when I first started, I could barely make it around the block. And now I'm up to 10 blocks, no problem. You have to go little by little, but if these people had a dog, or we could even do some service cats. They would have to clean the cat box, eventually. They would have to get up and give it a can of food. It would get these people out of their bed, and then the dog could go places with the person. And
so these animals are like healers.
Yes.
They come in, they could be, instead of giving medicine, bring in a dog.
Yes, and they actually make the person think about the dog instead of the disease that they have. Instead of thinking about, I'm sick in bed, oh man, I gotta let the dog out. I just talked to a gentleman today that just had congestive heart failure. They found me online. They called me this afternoon and said, I'm stuck in bed. I have my neighbor walking the dog, but he can't do it anymore. How old are the dogs? One's a year old, the other one's a year and a half. A dog walk is not going to work for two dogs like that, stuck in a house all day. They need to go run somewhere. So I offered him, I'm going to go do a meet and greet, a free meet and greet with him as after the show. I'm heading to his house. And I'm going to assess the two dogs. I'm going to get him some free veterinarian care because he's older, and I know where to get there's a pet program at the senior center where you can get a $200 voucher to get your dog spayed and neutered at Humboldt Spay and Neuter. And you can get a $100 gift certificate to get the dog groomed. If you join the senior, you don't have to join the senior center. You just have to join the pet program at the senior center to get these
awesome
things for you.
That's so good. A lot of literature that you have for with animals. And wait, before we start ending the show, we're going to have a couple more minutes left. So what is something that DeeCee, something that you want to tell people that are interested in maybe wanting to, have the love for animals? I mean, like, is it in your blood? Is it something that you could just do?
No, everyone loves an animal. I mean, not everyone has time to care for a dog. It's a long commitment. I mean, even a cat is like having a child, I mean, do you want to have some babies with fur and 4 legs? I mean,
they're just like children.
Yes.
Yeah, they're like, yeah.
So it's really up to the person, but I just think that they help you, especially emotional support dogs and service animals can help you get through life easier, and they bring you joy. They don't upset you unless you don't have them trained right by DeeCee. I can train your dog in a 2-hour session.
So besides all the training and all the love for your dog, what else can you tell people about who DeeCee is?
That's about it. I live my life to care for people and make sure that they realize how incredible it is to have an animal and to live with a pet in your life. It makes a difference. It just does. I mean, not everybody loves them as much as I do, but
she loves her animals.
It's my passion in life to have a secure place for a dog and keep them safe for people when they're traveling, and nothing makes me happier when I train 2 dogs to quit snapping at every dog and getting in a fight. I mean, and for me, when I see the dog actually learning, wow, bark means to bark, quiet means quiet. Wait, what? Huh? I mean, when you watch a dog learn English, you can actually see their facial expressions when they're learning it. They're like, wow. My owner's been telling me 10 different words for the word be quiet. She never even said be quiet,
Do you want to introduce your little
This is Darla.
This is Darla.
She's the president of the company. She's a miniature poodle. She's 9 years old. She gets me clients constantly. She won't even let me take her to the dog park until we go handle our business first. She'll get out at the post office before the dog park.
And she's a service dog.
And she's a registered service dog, so she can go everywhere with me. She goes to church. She goes and hangs out in the grocery store. I mean,
I remember you told me you just took her to church and she did the holy roller or did something.
Yeah, she bowed down at the altar and put her paws together in a prayer position. And the whole church was like laughing and crying.
Aww.
And I mean, it was just, I couldn't believe it. I didn't have time to get my camera out and get a picture of it. It was pretty amazing.
That must have been amazing.
It was.
I would have been like teary-eyed. Okay, DeeCee, oh my God, looks like time is up. I'm so happy that you came on today. You told us such wonderful stories. Is there one last thing that you would like to tell the audience?
Well, if you need some pet care or some dog training, look up DeeCee's Doghouse. And I'll be happy to help you and your dog get along good and understand each other. And care for your cats if you need to go to Italy.
Thank you so much, DeeCee, once again. All right, everyone. And once again, thank you for watching Stand Up Humble and have a gay day.
Bye.
Wow, you did it.